I'm able to help women feel confident and have the agency to do that through clothes.
Yes.
And because it comes so effortlessly to me, I want to share it.
Privilege is all around you. It's useless until you recognize it. So it's time to stop feeling guilty and figure out how to use your privilege to make an impact.
I'm Amber Cabral, and this is Guilty Privilege. Welcome back to Guilty Privilege. My name is Amber Cabral, and today I have the opportunity of talking to my stylist, Germanee G. She actually styled me for this podcast. So every outfit that you have seen, she has had her little fingers on, and you are going to be lucky enough to hear from her today. She is a stylist for high-achieving entrepreneurs, executives, and entertainers. And she drops some really great tips, as well as gives you a little bit of recommendation about how to feel confident in your clothing, how to make the right choices to have the pieces in your closet that are going to work for you, and how not to overdo it. So looking forward to the conversation. Right. Hey, Germanee.
Hi, Amber.
Thanks for joining me here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited about this conversation because, I am fortunate enough to have worked with you specifically on my wardrobe twice in two different ways.
Yes.
And people think I know what I'm doing, and I don't actually. I just imitate
like you know
very well and listen.
Okay.
I got it from who has it. Okay. So I knew who to go to.
I appreciate that.
Yes. And so I'm excited to talk about it because I think that style is something that everybody wants, but not everyone understands.
Yeah.
And we get some really interesting definitions of style.
Absolutely.
But as a stylist, I would like for you to tell me what style means to you.
What style means to me. I think two quotes in particular come to mind.
Okay.
One of which is from Tracy Ellis Ross. When they asked her about style, she said, "Follow your heart."
Yeah.
To couple that, Beth Ann Hardison said, "People don't change. They just become more of who they are."
That's absolutely right.
And I think understanding style is understanding who exactly you are and how you want to show up, and showing up unapologetically as that person and unlearning what society has told you.
This is hard.
Yeah.
Because hard. People don't know themselves for real.
They don't.
So how, so if,
Exactly.
So if someone doesn't know themselves, can they have style?
They can try.
They can have style-ish.
But they can be style-ish.
Right.
But I don't know if it's you become unapologetic with it. I think there was a time in which I went to the grocery store and I threw on some shorts, some thigh-high boots, and a t-shirt, and the guy in the grocery store said, "That's an interesting outfit." I said, "Thank you."
Right.
And I didn't care. He didn't sway my opinion of my outfit.
Right.
I'm going to be as creative as I want to be because I want to express myself how I want to express it. And I feel like I didn't always have that. I don't think I always was as stylish as I am today. I think it's about unlearning conformity, because when I think about how I dressed myself when I worked at Gap, I looked like the people who work there. Of
course.
Now that
conformity bias is real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now that I'm an entrepreneur, I look at those photos and I'm trying to understand who that girl was. And that was me in that moment.
Didn't know.
She didn't know.
Yeah.
Because I was dealing with the pressures of being from the South. My first day at Gap, I wore a suit. I got to the Gap office and everybody was in jeans and a suit. I said, "Mom, I am embarrassed."
Literally. It's so funny because what's hilarious about that is it is one of the coaching points that I used to make sure that, because Gap is a client of mine.
Yeah.
That I used to tell Gappers, like, you cannot critically judge people for showing up in a suit because we're in an age right now where people don't know that it's okay to not.
Correct.
Right. And so until they get in office and discover that,
absolutely,
you think, oh, this person doesn't know us. They're showing up to the interview in a suit. And it's like, but you interview in suits.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I can imagine how that felt because that's an actual talking point I have said in that company.
Listen. And so coming from the South, I had to unlearn my Southern traditions. Then I had to understand, okay, well, how do I fit in this Bay Area?
Yes, that's a whole different
corporate.
vibe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So relaxed.
Yes.
But then I think by the time that I left, I was really showing up as me. They always knew that I was going to show up in an outfit.
It's going to come here.
Exactly.
It's coming. Okay. All right.
So I think it's about learning and becoming yourself and unlearning and not being influenced by anybody else. Really just showing up authentically.
So I want to talk a little bit about that because I'm processing that for the moment.
Yeah,
and I feel
it's
like,
all psychology, really.
Yeah, but that's, listen, the people don't, get the help they need all the time, right?
Well,
so there's labor involved.
Yeah.
And so I want to talk a bit about it because I think most people probably think about style the way that I used to, which is I would like to look pulled together. What is the right version of that for me? Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. So I, in my mind, was seeking out assistance with style or being styled because my hope was that you could tell me.
Yeah.
But you can't.
I cannot tell you. What I can do,
guide.
Though, I can guide you. And also, not to brag on myself, but what I think I do a lot better when I am talking to my clients is I'm listening to everything you're saying. I also research my clients before I meet them. I research them. I'm seeing how they're showing up. And then I'm also hearing how they say they want to show up. And that's so valid. Then I take all of that information, right? I soak it all in. And then I figure out the garments that amalgamate all of that and help you feel confident.
Right.
And you say, wow, I never envisioned this for myself.
I have said
but I feel like myself.
Yeah.
And it's because I heard you.
Right.
And it's an art and it's a science. I could get up here and tell you, Amber, my outfit is so cute. You should wear exactly that. But the science behind it is that's not your genetic, that's not your chemistry. Right. That doesn't make you feel great.
Right.
What makes you feel great? That's the science behind it.
Right.
Not the art.
Okay, this is rich. I think it's really good to think about fashion from the standpoint of it being a personal thing.
Absolutely.
I think the labor in that I think a lot of people will find difficult, and I even just thinking about it, I'm like, ooh, that's kind of hard, is like the knowing yourself part. Because we don't. We don't. Unfortunately, like a lot of us don't. And so it's therefore difficult to connect to this idea that, I can have a style that fits me, because I don't really know me. I just want to be a certain way.
Great.
I want to show up a certain way. And I think we see that sometimes when I've definitely had this experience where I've seen somebody and the clothes are wearing them.
Absolutely.
Like the outfit is cute,
but it don't feel
it's not for you.
Yeah.
Or you're not wearing it well. Something's off with it. And so I can see the other side of that where it's like, this is nice. It appears visually, to be, nice to look at, but it doesn't work. And I think that, so what I'm hearing is style is when it works and it works for that person.
Correct.
Okay.
And you have to keep throwing paint at the wall.
My walls are painted. I've had that moment. So we'll talk about my closet and all of that in a minute, because you've done some fantastic things for me and I want to explore that deliberately. But before I say that, you talked a little bit about working at Gap.
Yeah.
I would love to just hear from you what you feel like what did you gain? What did you gain? What did you glean from that experience that, prepared you for entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. I feel like I learned so much at Gap.
For sure.
There's so many things. I think it helped me for my clientele. Because I knew at Gap, they put you in front of
everybody.
Including the CEO of the company.
They do not care.
They do not
Everyone
care.
will be in front and you will have a mic.
You can be an assistant merchant, a merchant.
That's right.
They do not care. You're going to tell
That's right.
the CEO how your business is doing.
Exactly.
And convince them that it's working.
That is exactly right.
Or you have to tell them why
Gap
it's
is
not
very
working.
democratic that way.
Absolutely.
They are very much about making sure that if you are not visible in that company, there is likely something going on causing that, because they're kind of skilled about putting a mic in people's hands and making sure that you talk.
Wait, the first day you get there, they teach you need to have an elevator pitch.
Yes.
I'm like, well, what elevators am I getting on? Because I don't want to get on
right, exactly. Right.
But once I found my niche and knew that it was going to be executives and entrepreneurs, and at that time it was in tech, I had to learn how to pitch myself and I had to learn how to speak the corporate speak. Yeah. And I knew that because of my my time at Gap.
Yeah.
I think me being a merchandiser helps me with the versatility aspect of me teaching people that you can't think about your clothes in just, this is one garment. I like this one garment. No, how do I wear this garment in multiple ways? How does it flow within my wardrobe? So as a merchant, we always have to look at the designs and say, well, how does this design coordinate with this? Because we want
sales,
the conversion. Correct.
I want you to buy 4 things.
Correct. I need you to buy 4 things.
And the 4 things therefore need to go together.
And they got to go together.
That's right.
So the versatility is where it comes in check as far as me being a merchandiser, me translating that to styling. So between me having to understand corporate speak and then my merchandising background, I think it really helped me become the stylist I am today.
Okay, I can see that.
Things didn't work out, but I mean,
listen,
we had to break up.
Everybody is not supposed to be in a corporation.
No.
Everybody is not necessarily supposed to work with corporations.
Absolutely. And the thing is that I knocked on the door as far as I wanted to be a stylist.
Yeah.
I told them multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, like you got what you needed and they probably got what they needed too.
Absolutely. I love that time.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. So it feels like it was an even exchange.
No, absolutely. Thank you.
I got mine. Thank y'all. Okay. All right. So I want to ask you a question. I know we talked about style being about you figuring out you. And now as I'm processing that still, it makes more sense why here I am in my 40s. In my 40s. Finally feeling like I have a sense of style where I'm like, oh, I do feel like I have a style. I have a way I like to feel in my clothes, etc. What recommendations would you have for someone who doesn't consider themselves particularly stylish? Like if you were to just maybe give people a 1, 2, 3 of things that they could do, what would that look like or sound like?
Yeah, I usually tell people who don't know where to start, go on Pinterest, go on Instagram, take screenshots, then put all those photos together. And did you find a common theme?
Oh, look for the theme.
Look for the theme. That is the North Star. Like, do I gravitate towards leather? Do I gravitate towards these specific shapes?
Zebra print.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then you're understanding, okay, this is what I'm drawn to. Let me stay in that vein. With you, you love the earth tones.
I love earth tones.
It's easy. You can mix and match it.
Love it. Love it.
Right.
And because I am, like in a position where you're going to see a lot of my clothes because I have short hair. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have a lot of other things to take away, right? You see my face and you see my clothes.
Yeah.
I really value everything working together.
Exactly.
Like it means a lot. Like I feel like when I start to get a little too adventurous, it feels distracting because my clothes are the focus on me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a great point for sure.
So I think 1 is find a theme, and then 2, look in your closet and ask yourself what makes you feel confident.
This is giving Marie Kondo.
Right.
What do I love about this? What makes me feel confident?
This? Not what you like.
Does it spark joy?
Does it spark joy?
Yeah.
So what are the things that make you feel confident? I have a ton of blazers because I feel like I can dress it up, dress it down, and I still am going to feel as though I'm the baddest girl walking into the room in a blazer and some jeans. That's me.
Right.
Bro. And so what in your closet makes you feel the most confident? I stopped because a lot of women say dresses, and I have thoughts about dresses.
Okay. Well, let's we can have let's make it a 2B.
Okay. So then the third thing would be to just try things that you haven't tried before, because you don't know if you like it until you try it. And so until you try it on, and until you try to figure out the pieces of the puzzle, you won't know. But don't fall into the comfort gap of the leggings, no pun intended, of the leggings and a t-shirt and I feel comfortable. I always say that it's not about comfort, it's about what makes you feel comfortable.
There is a difference.
There is very much so a difference.
There are things that I think are comfortable.
Yeah.
That are also providing me comfort.
Yes.
But there are definitely things that provide me comfort that I'm not leaving my house in.
Absolutely.
So yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. So in a practical standpoint, one of the things that I see, I'm hopping around, I have lots of questions.
Ahead,
and so I'm, well, let's talk about the dresses. Touch on the dresses piece. Let's hear
okay,
that.
so dresses are a scapegoat, right?
What does that mean? Why are dresses a scapegoat?
I know. Women throw on dresses because it's easy. They don't want to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And then you try to understand your style. Well, you don't have any clothes to pair anything with.
You don't have to pair anything.
You don't have to pair anything.
Because all you wear is dresses.
Yes.
So dresses is the equivalent of like, that person that works in corporate that always has on black pants.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Absolutely.
Black pants every single day. Different shirt?
Yeah.
Different shoes.
Yes.
Black pants.
Black pants.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. That's a good point. I actually was never a dress wearer. I say that like I'm in my dress body now.
Mm-hmm.
But before.
Yeah, because you got body.
I mean, little happenings happening.
I love that.
Right?
I love that for you.
So, but yeah, I was really reserved about dresses and skirts for a long time, especially because I'm short. It made me feel, I don't know, shrunken, I think.
Yeah,
but
it's all about
now,
proportion.
Now I'm like, oh, okay, I know where to put the things. I know how they need to sit. I am in a dress styled by Germanee today. So I can imagine, now thinking about what a dress does because it is simple. It's like, what are you gonna do? Throw a jacket on and that's it. There's no additional, your shoe.
Exactly.
It's not a lot. So pairing, you don't get to figure out like what I like, what I don't like, what colors I even like because the dress is the dress.
I've walked into a ton of closets and they say, I don't know what to wear. Can you help me? I can't help you because you don't have outfits.
Wow. That must hurt some feelings.
Sometimes I gotta hurt some feelings. And that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you get to the answers.
We
really,
roadmap and we figure it out.
This is it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what you've done for me. So the first time you came by, you kind of just, we went through my closet and was like it was like an assessment. Like, what are you missing? What do you need?
Yeah.
What are the basics that you have? What do you wear? What's really your style? What's not? And at that point, I was like probably at the tip of like, I feel a little bit good about my style. And it was very helpful. And you made this fantastic board of things and I bought a lot of them. And then I, had a few years pass and life did things and you moved away and you were living in LA at that time and then you moved to Georgia. And then I was casually talking to you as a friend and was like, hey, so why don't you come help me get ready for the podcast? Right. And this was different because my closet is pretty done. Yeah. Like I have a lot of things, but I've gone through some transitions. So my body has evolved. I had stopped wearing a lot of things because, I picked up some weight because I was navigating some health issues, had some surgery, blah, blah, blah. So I was unsure even what fit. Yeah. And I don't often put clothes on anymore because I'm at home most of the time. So I may wear a top, but other than that, I'm in my chill out bottoms. I'm in my comfort.
That part.
I'm in my comfort. So you came by and this, I still am just blown away by it. But you came in, you were in my closet for all of maybe 10, maybe 12 minutes and pulled 22 outfits. Just, can you give me some insight into how it takes me 22 minutes to figure out what to put on? Okay, I'm looking at the same clothes, okay, that I have worn this entire season. You have had me put things on my body in ways that I would never have considered, but I was like, I would do this. I would wear a hoodie with a skirt. Why haven't I done that? Yeah. I think most people who put clothes on their body, because we do realize that there are some celebrities who choose not to do that at all. But most people who put clothes on their body really want to be able to work in their closet. Yeah. In that way. They want to be able to go in. You
purchase these clothes.
Yes. And put things on and put them together and like show up in a way that feels this is right. This fits me. It's in my closet. It should. Please give me some tips. Please help me so I can get dressed in 20 minutes. I don't got to do 22 in 20 minutes, but if I could do one in 20 minutes, that would be great. I hope you're enjoying today's episode. And if you happen to also be looking for tools to help you navigate tough conversations, to be able to show up as a more impactful ally, or just to have resources about how to navigate equity in your world, I've written 2 books. My first book is called Allies and Advocates. And this book is really focused on helping you show up as a more impactful ally. It has actual tactics and tips and things that you can practice to help you get there, both for yourself and for others. My second book is called Say More About That. Now, Say More About That is more about helping you to speak up, to push back, to challenge, to be able to have those conversations that sometimes get a little bit difficult. And in fact, I've given you actual scripts to help you to be able to do that. So if you're interested in just having a few extra resources in your pocket to be able to help you to navigate any of those things, you can go pick up those books anywhere where you buy books, or you can pop down into the show notes and click the links and buy them there. Back to the episode.
Yeah, I think, Amber, what you have done in your closet well, and this will be helpful for other people. I think, one, you've invested in some very quality pieces. 2, you have organized your closet in a way that it makes sense. Like, it's in color order. It's in the order of silhouette. So the pants, it was very easy for me to, you made your closet shoppable. And you have to
I've worked in retail.
Yes. And I think you don't know what to find when you wake up in the morning if you have not made the environment to conducive to do so. Right. Now, because of that, it made it easy for me to go in and say, okay, I like these tops. I like these pants. Okay, let me pull a couple dresses, and then let me see what works together. And so then I'm also looking at fabrications. What fabrications work well? Oh, I know silk and leather pair well together. They're luxurious fabrications, or they look luxurious, so I can make that work together. Okay. Or, I also said this before, you should play with it, have fun. Right. And because I have to do a lot with my own wardrobe and learning like what I like, what I dislike. Yeah. I'm a tomboy. I have 2 brothers. Like I'm a tomboy at heart. So I'm gonna wear a hoodie, and then I might throw a dress on with a hoodie. Right. Or a skirt. Right. Which is why I pushed you to do the same, because we have very similar body types, and we have very similar style. Yes. Right. And so because of that, it was very much so, oh, I know this is going to work for Amber, because I know that she's going to wear a hoodie. Maybe she just didn't think about. I did not. Yeah. And so I think we often think of traditional ways to wear our clothes where we shouldn't. You gotta break the tradition.
That's a good point. So even with the look that you put together, there was a hoodie and a skirt together. The thing that stuck out to me about it is I would have never tucked the hoodie. Yeah. I would have potentially put a hoodie and a skirt together, but I would have had it bloused over. Yeah. But to your point about trying it, that's probably a perfect example of that, because I would not have tried it.
Yeah, and the proportions. You gotta create a waist. People always create a rule of thumb. I don't always agree with this, that you mirror the hourglass. Yeah. You have to always mirror the hourglass for proportion. And so I always know, hey, I have to show my waist, so then it looks like I have, otherwise curves. You're exactly circle. A blob, right? And you don't want that. I also think that what you do well with your closet, what you've done well, is that you have a good mix. And we talked about that in your roadmap too. And so people don't think methodically about their wardrobe or when they're shopping. They buy on impulse mostly.
Or I like this. This looks so cute.
Yeah. Yes. Or out of necessity. I got a brunch that I got to go to, or I got a wedding. And then you don't know what to do with it after. And so I often tell clients that your wardrobe or your closet should be made up of your staples, your key items, and your statement pieces. And you got to have a good range of all that. If your closet has too many staple pieces, you're never going to be able to,
you're not going to brunch.
You're not going to brunch.
You're not. You're going to Nordstrom. T-shirt.
Exactly.
And then you're going to brunch.
And then, exactly.
Right. Okay.
If you have too many staples, those are your basics. Like, you can't really do much with that. Okay. If you have like your key items, those are like your little bit of flavor, too many statement pieces, people get stuck because everything's loud.
Everything is loud.
So you need a good mix.
I know those people.
Exactly. Yeah. So you need a good mix of all of those. Okay. Like, this is a Skims t-shirt, some Eggo jeans, and I threw on this statement jacket. Right. I don't wear this all the time. If I had 10,000 of these, I wouldn't know what to do with my closet, because I don't have the basics to pair with it. Exactly. Right. I got you. And so people have to have a good mix. And I think you also have a good range in your closet to give you coordinating separates that work together and flow together and create a versatile wardrobe.
Okay, so if a person is preparing for a stylist to come into their closet, they need to probably organize.
Organize, definitely.
They need to be thoughtful about what purchases they are making.
Absolutely.
So like quality, does it fit into my space? And then third, they need to have some versatility.
Absolutely.
In terms of like, what category does this fall in? Is it dressy? Is it, athletic? Is it? Okay, that's super helpful. All right, I have another question that, I wonder about too, like just going back to the experience that I had with you. Another thing that was really good is that you were able to quickly put things to, like, you paired immediately. Like it was like, this satin jacket, you're going to wear that as a shirt under this, pleated dress. And I'm like,
make it make sense. I never done that before.
Do these work?
Yeah, they work.
Is this a thing? And I'm like, okay, wow, this does work. This actually is nice. Okay. So how can someone put themselves in the position? I mean, I know this is probably also a try it thing, but like some things you just would never think to try. Like I would never take a suit jacket and wear it as a shirt. I would never have thought about that. So like, how can people get at least a little bit of framework around how to pair, like, to make those leaps? Because again, I think a lot of the things, even in my own closet that I bought it as a set, or I was like, oh, this goes together or whatever. But to your point, I can sometimes step away and not know how to pair again.
Yeah.
So how do I get away from, okay, this is the one way I would wear it, but if I'm supposed to be able to wear something 3 ways, what are the other 2?
Yeah. So
you gave me a good one with the leather and the.
Absolutely.
That was good. I would never have had. That's a great rule to have.
They work together.
Can I have another?
Yeah, of course. I think that going on back to Pinterest, right? Back to Pinterest, seeing how people are wearing them. And I also tell people to find a body double, because
somebody that's shaped like
you.
That you like how they dress. Okay.
So I think you can see them take the risk and you say, hey, oh, this is my body type. I can try this. And then you become more comfortable because you're seeing somebody else do it.
You have an example.
And then you can create outfit formulas. Oh, I know that a crop jacket could work with a dress. I could buy 3 crop dresses and 3 crop blazers in 3 different dresses, and they look like completely different outfits.
Every time you pair.
Every time. But also when you're buying those 3 crop blazers, maybe one is a wool blazer, maybe one is leather, and maybe one is denim, right?
So same silhouette,
different fabrications can create completely different aesthetics. I think what people often do is they find a dress that they love.
And they buy 5 of them.
And they buy 5 of them. Wrong. They need to be different shapes, different fabrications.
The same silhouette, but not the same exact dress.
Correct.
I'm guilty of that. I have bought 7 of the same thing.
A lot of people are. I also used to be guilty of that same thing.
Good. I'm glad to know that.
Yeah, I've made all the mistakes, right?
It's good to know because
I wasn't born with style.
I mean, you have found your way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you definitely have. I used to buy multiples of things, and then I got to a point where, first of all, things get expensive. And so I started being like, okay, I can't have more than 2.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have more than 2 of the same shoe. I'm not gonna have more than 2 of the same jacket. I'm not, and they have to be like different enough in color, like, because I do like the earth tone family. Yeah. Like I can do a brown and a green. I can't do like a tan and a brown. Like we need to have some separation because otherwise I will get to the point where like, that's the same outfit. Yes. It's the literal same outfit. And I like it, but it's the same outfit.
And that's what happens is that you buy the same things that you like, the same silhouettes that you like, the same family, and then you are then bored.
Yeah.
Because you made yourself that way.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a funny thing, and I hope none of my podcast guests are mad at me for this, but we did this. When we picked these outfits, we matched them to the person, and you asked me, what is this person gonna wear? And I'm gonna tell you, I was right about almost everybody.
Stop. Okay.
So maybe not necessarily boring, but people did have either a sense of style or I knew kind of the general aesthetic that they play in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So maybe I do have a little, maybe something's going on up here.
See?
I got to ask you about accessories though. I struggle with accessories. I like gold. I know gold things work, but I get once things start to get chunky and bulky, or like I'm like, how many of these can I wear? Do I have a row of chunky bracelets? Do I just have one? Is this chain too big? Is it too low? Where is it supposed to hit? I get overwhelmed.
Absolutely.
So I ends up just not buying it.
Yeah.
Earrings, I love hoops, so hoops work. Hoops go with everything. So I have tons of styles of hoops, but I tend to stick with hoops because I'm like, I know that works.
Okay.
But I mean, I could afford an earring or two.
You know,
I got a pair of earrings from Jess that she let me wear, and I was like, I could wear these.
Okay.
So can you talk to me about accessories and how we make decisions? Because I've seen people look a clown in accessories.
Oh, yeah. Accessories is, the icing on the cake, literally.
Okay.
And so because of that, I always tell people to start small. Start with your everydays, your dainties, your basics.
Okay.
So
it's going to go with everything.
It's going to go with everything.
Okay.
Right? And I'm just talking jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start building on, okay, if I try out a chunky bracelet, do I like it or does it feel clunky for me?
Okay.
Like, try it on.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what return policies are for?
That's right.
Take it home.
Like it. Yeah.
Try it on. I didn't like it. Return it. And then if you feel like it's too clunky, maybe you get something that's a little more dainty, a little more refined for you. It's crazy because my mom and my dad, they both have great style.
Of course they do.
But my mom, she is a Southern belle at heart. And she would never wear anything that I would wear.
Really?
Absolutely.
Clothes and jewelry?
Clothes and jewelry. She'll say, that's so very cute. I would never wear it. And
wow.
Right. I would shop her closet, but I would just try on like little dainty pieces and just stack and stack and stack. And then I started to say, oh no, it's too dainty. I want to like add some texture. So you add the bulkiness. But what does that mean for you? And so my mom wears little stackable jewelry. Yeah.
Small stackables.
Yeah. And I want something a little more visually interesting. So I'm going to add different textures. But that doesn't mean you did it wrong. That means you did it for you.
So what's interesting is I always feel like my hands are too small. Maybe it's that they're too small and wrinkly. But
I have short,
you have
fat
small
hands.
You have small hands. And like you have like, I mean, you have as many rings on as I have. They're just bigger, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So like, I always feel like I can't wear large jewelry because my hands are so small.
Okay.
But that's, I mean, obviously I'm wrong about that.
Yeah. And then you start to feel comfortable with what works for you and what you're willing to pair together. Yeah. Like for somebody else, they might say, oh, this is too much.
It looks great though. I think it looks great.
But it's
I
also a lot
feel
of practice.
Like, would I do this? Like,
yeah.
And that's the other thing. I'm like, how do you know how much stack, how many?
Yeah.
That's what. So what's the rule on not going wrong with accessories? How do I keep from getting too seriously? Like, I don't think that's my problem, but I've seen it. I've seen where it felt overdone.
I mean, I think you got to go with what Coco Chanel once said is if you have on 3 things, take one off.
Oh, okay.
Right. And so then it's like, okay, maybe I'll take off this one accessory so I don't feel like I've gone over the edge. Or, decide on what you want the statement to be. Do I want it to be a statement necklace? Then I'm not going to wear a statement earring with the statement necklace.
Oh, because it's crowded.
Correct. It's crowded. Some people do it very well.
Right.
But when you're learning, try to stick to one.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, your hands is far enough from your face that,
you could double that.
That you can double
it. Okay.
So figure out what you want to focus on and then go from there. And then I also think that people don't realize that you can make your shoes and your handbags accessories too. So if you feel as though...
And scarves and buttons.
Exactly. So if you feel as though jewelry isn't your thing, try a shoe or try a handbag. If you don't feel like scarves are your thing, try jewelry. Right.
Right.
I'm not a scarf person. I'm just not.
I'm a scarf person in the winter.
In functionality. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
but not even like winter scarf. I like the big square. I just feel like they're convenient. I can wrap it around my head. It gives me some options and it's also like if my outfit is kind of regular, but I put on a nice zebra print scarf, it gives me a little extra.
Yeah,
so it's definitely an accessory.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's valid. Okay, I like that. That's very helpful.
Yeah.
I have been personally kind of operating just generally when I get dressed, and I'm starting to get away from this of like not necessarily, I wouldn't have called it the rule of 3, but maybe it is. I would put something on and almost say what stands out. And sometimes what stands out is, because I think people don't think about this as well, sometimes what stands out is my lips. Like I'm wearing a bold red lip. That's an accessory.
That's an accessory.
And sometimes it's, okay, well, you have your lip and then you have your bracelets and then you have this shoe. I'm not going past that. I'm typically going to halt at 3. Because then I start to get nervous that maybe I'm doing too much chunks. But now I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, there are times where, like, you know, the hoodie that I had on, I had the sparkly, you know,
this is super cute,
which could to me subbed because I didn't have a necklace, right? And then also, you know, pull up, I still have my bracelets. Then I also had on a fun shoe. And I was like, actually, this is more than 3. And I don't mind it. So I do think that exploration piece is really important, but I did start, to your point of like, start small. I was like, if it's more than 3,
you graduate.
I made sure, because I was just, I don't know. And I also realized that in some cases, depending on what I have on, my hair is an accessory.
Absolutely.
Because my hair it's a thing. People know me by it. Hey there, I hope you're enjoying the episode. And in fact, if you are, you can bring me to your organization or event to help you bring conversations like this to life in your workspaces. This is something I do for a living. I do coaching, I do training, I do executive consulting, whatever it is that you might need as it relates to trying to figure out how to activate allyship or equity in your space. It's probably something I can support. So if you're interested in how we can work together, you can reach out to me at cabralco.com or pop down into the show notes and click the link, book a discovery call, and we will chat with you soon. Back to the show.
Absolutely. 100%. How I wear my hair when it's straight is completely different as far as how I create my outfits. How I wear my faux locks. I'm a lot more bohemian in my dress.
You are.
Like, true. You know, it's summertime. I ain't wearing no clothes for real. It's hot. So my locks are going to be my moment. But when I want to step out and be cute, it's going to be my bone straight or my waves, or I'm going to put my waves in a ponytail. And I feel like it changes
your
my
whole
mood.
Style.
It changes my mood, my style, because your hair is also an accessory. And I think that it changes the aesthetic of an outfit too.
That's super helpful.
I can't wear this with my locks. It
wouldn't
feels
be crowded.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, you got a good coat thing.
I do.
I love some coats. You know, coats are hard. You think coats are easy because it goes on the outside, but it's not, because I think we've been taught to buy coats for functionality.
Absolutely.
We don't buy coats because it's
for
like,
fashion.
Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna wear that. No, we're like, okay, it's warm.
The third piece is so easy. People always forget about the third piece. Gap terminology. Third piece.
That last layer.
Yes, the last layer, the jacket, the blazer, the coat, the cardigan. People forget about that.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's true. I love a blazer, but coats, I get a little nervous. Although you've added some coats to my closet, I do appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay, so this next question, I think of style as an equity matter. I think it's something that prohibits some people into spaces because they have a lack of style. I think that sometimes people will turn their style down because they are in certain areas and rooms. And so part of the reason I wanted to have a conversation with you is because I wanted to be able to have some dialogue around what could help people potentially shape the experience that they're having with others. Like, whether we would like to admit it or not, when someone is, you know, stylish or dresses well, we tend to be drawn to them. We tend to want to engage them. We're going to ask them where they got the coat.
100%.
We're gonna, you know, want to have some conversation, versus someone who, you know, we don't necessarily see, you know, some intentionality or that same, you know, level of stylishness. You'll not engage the same way. What do you recommend for folks who, you know, maybe are feeling a little bit trapped and confined because they are not necessarily being seen because of their style, but they are not necessarily wanting to change it? You know, like they, you know, like I think of, I have a couple friends who are they're just t-shirt people. Like they're t-shirt and jeans people. They may have some fun sneakers, but like they're not really thinking about style. It's not a thing that they're married to. To them, their style is, I'm in a t-shirt and jeans, maybe a t-shirt and some slacks, but that's me. But I would like to potentially still get into this space in this room. What are your thoughts about that connection?
Oh, it's definitely a connection. It's research behind this connection.
Okay.
One, the research states that 70% of a first impression is based off of appearance alone. So before you even open up your mouth, correct. They've already decided who you are. They don't know your degree. They don't know if you went to Harvard. They don't know
how much money you made.
They don't know how much money you make.
They don't know anything.
They just
they don't know if you
see
speak English.
how you showed up.
Yeah.
So it matters. And also in my old corporate world, I saw somebody get passed up for a promotion because of how she dressed. It's all exactly.
We know that wasn't formally stated, but it was probably a part of the rumor mill.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because she didn't fit the part of the particular exactly.
This is an equity matter for
that is
real.
Definitely an equity matter.
Yeah.
And so because this is also why I do the work that I do, because I'm a Black woman. A lot of my clients are Black women.
I need all the keys.
And how they show up matters. They need the confidence to walk in, get these deals, like talk to the people that they need to talk to and show up. And how you feel is sometimes directly attached to what you're wearing. On. Exactly. Because it gives you the confidence. Because when I say, girl, you look good, you're like, okay, yes, I do.
I'm ready.
And I'm ready.
Yes.
I'm ready
for my promotion, please.
Correct. Give me my money.
Yes, exactly. So I wonder then, what's the difference between, I think this is worth it, especially when someone is being exploratory, which I think just me dressing for the podcast and you helping me with that has given me a lot of opportunity to say, okay, I have room to play.
Yeah.
What's the difference between me feeling confident in something or me just liking it? And the reason I ask you this is, you and I have had some conversation. There was somebody else that used to style me before, we're no longer in touch. So I, because I stepped away, I still had a lot of pieces in my closet that were added, and a lot of them are great.
Yeah.
But there were some things that I was like, this is nice.
Yeah. But you don't love it.
But it's not me.
Yeah.
I don't feel good in it. I'm not sure how to wear it. I don't know if I want to wear it.
Yeah.
But it's nice.
Yeah.
Right. And so
it shouldn't be in your closet then.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But it took me time. Like I had to I don't know. I was past 30-day return window. I'll tell you that, So like how can I tell in a moment, is this confidence or is it just, oh, this is cute?
If it's confidence, that's a good question.
I mean, I'm saying I feel like you can get confused. You could just,
I feel like you can get confused.
You could have on something that looks really nice.
Absolutely. Which I think that
but you're not really confident.
Correct. And I think the confidence is, how does this garment, one, make me feel? But then I think it goes back to, can I wear this 3 ways? Okay. Right? And does that still give me the same feeling?
Ooh.
If I wear it in different occasions?
My applications.
Up, down. Exactly. Dressed up, dressed down, somewhere in between, do I still feel the same? Like if I wore this jacket with a fitted bodycon dress, I'm going to still feel the same.
Right. My confidence is in this particular item. It is not in this look.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay. I like that. That's super helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I have any other questions. I'm trying to think about, I feel like you've added so many things for me to consider. Oh, I do. I have one more question that I want to ask. You touched on a little bit, shoes.
Yeah.
I have a shoe problem.
Okay.
I mean, you've seen my shoe problem.
I have.
It's a good, healthy problem.
But
it's a problem.
Okay. Yeah.
How should we be thinking about shoes? So because I have so many shoes, I'm now at the point where I just don't have space to add more.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell how many pairs of shoes I have. But how do I make the decisions? Like, should I be, when I am looking at shoes, should I be at the point already where my wardrobe is defined? Am I building my shoe situation as I am also like figuring out my style and identity with my wardrobe? Like, where do shoes fall in the equation? Is there a safe way to buy shoes so that you don't have to worry about if your style changes later? Like, what are the shoe rules? Can I have too many sneakers? Am I supposed to be wearing, more? What help?
Right. Okay.
I'm not getting rid of anything. But
no, as you should not, because you have a great, I love your shoe collection. I think as far as the starting blocks for shoes, I think you should always have a black pump, a nude pump, a black ankle strap, a nude ankle strap. It doesn't matter the heel height, whatever is your preference.
Okay.
And then I think you should have a comfortable white sneaker. Those are like your
fundamentals.
Now, whatever you do after that, just make sure it's not versions of the same thing. Make sure back to the wardrobe that it's...
We are not collecting dunks.
We are not collecting dunks. And if they are, I hope they are...
worth a lot.
Exactly. But to that point, some people style themselves from the bottom up. You know, they style themselves based off of the shoe. And so there's not really a rule to it, but just make sure there's versatility. Does your shoe have, you know, I have shoes that have feathers on them. Make sure you have a metallic shoe. People forget about metallics are also neutrals.
Metallics are neutrals.
You
can wear
neutrals.
Metallics together. Do you know how much my world changed when I figured that out? That I could wear gold and silver and rose gold together. I was like, oh, I did not know this. Yeah, that's super helpful.
And then the color pops.
It does.
But you don't have to have like 1,000 shoes. I actually don't have a vast shoe collection.
Shoes may not
I've actually started to...
You got more coats than anything.
Well, you know. That's why I can't fit things in my closet. It's not that I have a big closet. I have a lot of coats.
You do.
And so, and I think your shoe preference changes over time. I think pre-pandemic, a lot of women had a lot of heels.
Oh, absolutely.
We
weren't going anywhere.
We weren't going anywhere.
I was out of practice.
Our feet were no longer. We tried to go outside 2021. Our feet said, "Wait a minute."
It was bad.
What happened?
Like, why am I wearing this?
Yeah. And so now a lot of heels are shorter.
Yeah.
In height.
Yep.
Or thicker.
Yep.
Or just sneakers.
Yes.
And so a lot of women are voting against going back. Exactly. Yeah. And so I think it also changes with age. And also just when you're young, you're going to the club in 6-inch heels.
Absolutely. And my knees can.
As an adult.
Right. My knees and my ankles can.
I'm not
doing that. I'm not standing in line in these shoes. It's just
I know that I have 2 hours before I'm ready to go home.
Exactly. And low key, even if the shoe is comfortable, I don't want to tear my shoes up on this cement.
Correct.
So I'm not going to wear them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think there's like a real rule, but I think that there are staples that you should have.
Okay. To
ground yourself so that you're not looking crazy. Also, animal print could also be a neutral. People forget that too.
I had to learn that too. I actually have animal print on my sneakers. And these are neutral. They have metallic and animal print.
See?
And they're still a neutral. So yes, the neutrals game, listen, this is probably why my closet is very neutral.
Exactly.
Because it plays so well together. And it works with my skin tone, so I get a lot of versatility, even though I had no idea how much versatility. You totally opened my eyes to that. So tell me, if someone is looking for a stylist, what should they do? And also, how can they get in touch with you?
Okay, I'll start with if they're looking for a stylist. What they should do. I think they should research that stylist.
How do you research a stylist?
I
feel like people's page. I mean, think about it. Some stylist pages are only people they style.
That's exactly.
So how do I research you for real? I just see what you've done for other people. Work. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for.
And the people who they style and the body types they've styled.
Body types.
And also I need you to look at how are they styling these people? Do all these people look the same? Some people want to look like how the stylist has built their client. Exactly. I think Jay Bolin does a really beautiful job, but I think it's very Texas. I think it's for a certain demographic, right? And so it's also very feminine. And so I think he does a beautiful job at that. Right. Do you want to look like that aesthetic? If the answer is yes, Jay Bolin is exactly who you need to go with. Right. If you want somebody who's super versatile. I'm not saying that Jay Bolin's not versatile at all. Right. But if you want somebody who is going to be versatile and tap into you and you don't want to look like nobody else. Right. Then you need to think about that stylist. There are also stylists in Hollywood who will not touch anything over a size 6. Because they don't want to. And so you also don't want to go just for the name because sometimes the name doesn't want to work with you. Right. Right. So also look at their range of styling and like, can they work with different body types? Are they well versed in that? And how are they styling their clients? Are they styling them like themselves and projecting their style onto somebody else?
I've
like
had that experience.
Exactly. And so I think you have to figure out what you want to do and the experience you want to have. Yeah. Now how you connect with me.
How do we connect with you? Thank goodness your number's in my phone.
Right. Everybody don't have my number. Everybody don't have both numbers, and you got both numbers. You can find me online at Germanee G. So that's my name, GermaneeG.com. And so It has my work up there. It also has my background. It also can help you figure out if we are the right fit. And it shows all of the services that my team and I provide, because we are growing. It is not just me, okay? But I approve everything. And so, yeah, that's how you find us. And because we have multiple stylists on our team, it also gives you different perspective.
It's a range.
Yeah, which I appreciate, because we all bring something different to the table. And we're all throwing ideas together. I love that about my team. We're all saying like, that's cute, or we can build on that, or let's take that away. So I love that we can challenge each other stylistically. And I think that adds a really good value to the experience that our clients get.
It's like a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, I have 2 questions that before we wrap. The first one is, I just have to work this in here because I'm just so excited by it. I sent you to New York in a coat of mine.
You did.
A coat with tags.
I want to give it back. I'm gonna give it back though.
Rock it to your heart's content, actually. Okay, but because it's to my point, I didn't know how to wear it.
Yeah,
I didn't know how to wear it. It felt like it was too much coat, or I wasn't sure when to wear the coat. Like, can I be in the airport with this coat? People gonna look at me. I don't know what the right way to wear this coat is. So to your point about confidence, I probably needed to put the coat on and figure it out.
Yeah.
I liked the coat, but I wasn't really sure what to do with the coat.
Yeah.
So you came by and was like, I'm going to New York. I said, we'll take the coat with you because it is a warm coat.
Correct.
And what was so great is that you posted yourself in it. And I was like, I could do that.
Absolutely.
I would wear that like that. I would put those sneakers on. I didn't even know if I could wear sneakers with this coat. I thought I would have had to wear boots. And so I just want to talk a little bit about, how paying attention to your point, someone who has a similar body type than you. I'm bigger than you, but we're similar body type.
Similar, yeah.
And a similar style to you can be so helpful. Because I literally gave you an item of clothing out of my closet that on you is oversized, on me probably closer to a regular fit, but still similar, right? Yeah. And I walked away with a lesson. Like, I'm like, I can wear this way. I can wear it that way. I encourage you to rock it until the winter's over if you'd like, because you're going to post it more and I'll have more screenshots. So I want to just kind of talk about just my own value in observing that, because while I don't necessarily look at Pinterest or find people that I want to imitate style behind, pretty often, here I am in a situation. I have ended up selecting a person who is similar to me in style, understands my aesthetic, and I've had the added bonus of becoming her friend. So she will wear my coat. And now I know what to do with it.
Right.
So it just to kind of underscore what you're teaching is definitely working. Like, it's actively showing up in my space. In this moment, a couple of the outfits that we had pulled together, because we pulled everything out my closet, which was fantastic. But I had a hoodie that we were like, if this hoodie was cut a little differently, cut matters.
Cut matters.
And this hoodie, it was like, it's the right color, but we need a different cut. So I, tried to get it, didn't come in time. Yeah. So I had to adjust an outfit, and I felt confident. You had the agency adjusting because you were able to learn just a few tidbits. Yes. And that's what I want to give women, the agency to feel comfortable and confident. Yes. And have the tools to do so. Because, and it's my closet. Correct. But I would literally go in my closet and do what I think most people do, which is put the same things on over and over. Yeah. And this time I was like, okay, I can pull something together because I know this and this will probably go together in these colors. And it's because of the experience I had with you. Thank you. So for what it's worth, if you haven't gotten a stylist and you are interested in doing it, please, you will benefit immensely. Okay. And also, don't have someone style you the way they style themselves, because unless you really love their style. Yeah. Yeah, that can be a thing. Okay. Last question. I ask every guest this question. And the show is called Guilty Privilege. And the reason that it's called that is because I think people tend to feel guilty about the privilege that they have. Yeah. And we see how that shows up in lots of different ways, when in reality, privilege is actually really powerful. It helps open doors. It helps build connections. It helps us to create allies. And so I'm trying to just shift the narrative that privilege is something that we have to be ashamed of or diminish in some way, but instead create an environment where people are willing to use their privilege to connect. So with that, I would like to ask you, what is one privilege that you have that you refuse to feel guilty about? Oh, I think you just said it, and you telling me about your experience with me. My guilty privilege, or my privilege, is that I'm able to help women feel confident and have the agency to do that through clothes. Yes. And because it comes so effortlessly to me, I want to share it. Yeah. And so I think that's
That's my privilege.
That's
and
a
I'm
great
not
privilege.
I'm not guilty about it.
You
I don't feel
shouldn't.
bad about it.
You should not.
Because I think we should all
throw it
look
around
good.
like glitter, please.
Right?
Okay, just confetti, whatever.
Salve.
Like, absolutely. All right. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me, Germanee.
Thank you again
I
for
think this was
having
great. I feel like we got
me.
some good tips and
I hope
toolkits.
so.
Mhm.
I hope so. I hope it
Yeah.
was,
very useful.
okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Right.
These things just come off the dome. for
It's
me.
good.
So I just
That's what we
hope that
need. We want off the dome.
people learn something.
Yeah. They got a lot. I got a lot. So they got a lot.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you again.
You're welcome.